Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is set to drop in a matter of days, and fans are excited, to say the least. The movie, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, is the follow-up to 2016's Doctor Strange and will be directed by Sam Raimi. However, there are a few things you should probably check out before it drops. Today, we are discussing Marvel movies you should watch before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. First up, it's a pretty obvious one. If you are waiting to watch the Doctor Strange follow-up, it would probably be a good idea to watch the first one first, right? If you've never seen it, then you definitely should. But even if you have, it might be a good idea to refresh your memory as to what exactly went down. Scott Derrickson, who directed the first movie, did a decent job of introducing the character in his very own movie, and it's a good idea to check it out again, as it will remind you of what exactly it is our man Strange is all about. Of course, the Benedict Cumberbatch character is an eccentric yet arrogant brain surgeon who suffers life-altering injuries in a car crash. He loses the use of his hands, and after several experimental operations, he becomes disillusioned and goes out in search of something new. He stumbles across Kamar Taj, a Nepalese training center where he learns to become a masterful sorcerer under the tutelage of the Ancient One. Wong and Carl Mordo are also on hand to provide support for the budding magician. What did you make of the first Doctor Strange movie? Let us know below. Next up, it's Avengers: Age of Ultron. Stay tuned. The 2015 Joss Whedon movie serves to provide an idea of what life was like even before Doctor Strange had ever even been introduced to the MCU. Age of Ultron gives us a great look at the character of Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, and it could even be a good idea to watch this one before the original Doctor Strange movie. Elizabeth Olsen was actually quoted as saying she thought that the character of Maximoff was mentally stimulated as opposed to insane, but the movie does one thing really well. It gives us a close look at the motivations behind Scarlet Witch's behavior in Doctor Strange and why she does what she does. We see her as a powerful witch who can manipulate the minds of others, as well as show off her cool superpower of telekinesis. And Olsen even went as far as to suggest that Wanda doesn't just read people's minds, she is able to, quote, feel and see what they feel and see, unquote. Of course, we also learn where her powers have come from, the evil Hydra organization, who were able to unlock her special powers. Give us your thoughts on Wanda's portrayal in Age of Ultron. We're talking Avengers: Infinity War now. Don't go anywhere. By the time this one dropped, we had already been introduced to Doctor Strange in his first movie, and in this one, we see our anti-hero join forces with some of Earth's best-known heroes in order to stop Thanos potentially running riot throughout the universe. Naughty Thanos. He just can't say no to those Infinity Stones, and whilst on his mission to collect them, decides to indulge in a spot of pillaging, killing anyone in his path. And in the very first act of the movie, our man Strange joins up with Iron Man, Hulk, and Spider-Man to do battle with Thanos' underlings, who have been sent out on a mission to collect the Time Stone. Soon after, he meets up with the Guardians of the Galaxy and eventually proves his undoubted worth by peering into the future and revealing the key to defeating the mighty intergalactic warlord. What did you guys make of Doctor Strange's role in Avengers: Infinity War? Let us know below. Next up, it's Avengers: Endgame. Stick around for this one. We would only really suggest watching this one for the continuity aspect, as Strange nor Wanda Maximoff have a particularly big role in the blockbuster. However, they still make appearances, so it is worth a watch just to see what they're getting up to. Of course, Doctor Strange is involved in assembling the Avengers to tackle Thanos, but Scarlet Witch's role isn't a particularly big one, and as well as assembling the Avengers, Strange then has a hand in defending the crew from complete obliteration at the hands of Thanos. He makes sure his superhero colleagues aren't washed away and drowned by a huge wave, and Scarlet Witch does in fact almost kill Thanos in Avengers: Endgame. But almost isn't quite enough when the stakes are so high. This one became the highest grossing film of all time at one point before the re-release of Avatar, and for good reason. It was an absolute epic and gave us a little bit more insight into the relationship between Strange, Maximoff, and all the other good guys trying to defeat the evil Thanos. Who's your favorite character from this one? WandaVision is up next. Stay with us. Of course, technically not a movie, but you shouldn't miss this one off your list. It gives us a great insight into Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and ultimately what she wants. We know from Infinity War that Wanda Maximoff has suffered an extreme loss of some sort, and her grief only serves to enhance her powers. In Endgame, she still has hasn't come to terms with what's happened, and the TV show gives us a better idea of what happened and how she is dealing with it. We're not going to spoil it here for you. This show was announced at the same time as Multiverse of Madness, but actually dropped last year, which served as the perfect entree for the upcoming movie. And there is an obvious connection, as Olsen's character will reportedly have a huge part to play in the Doctor Strange sequel. So if there is one thing we would implore you to watch from today's list, it would more than likely be this one. It's only 10 episodes, so there's no reason why you can't binge watch it in one day. We're talking Loki now. Stick around. Okay, we know. This one obviously doesn't feature any of the characters who will be appearing in Multiverse of Madness, but it does reveal a lot of clues as to the inner workings of the multiverse. So on that note, it could be described as pretty important viewing. Played by English actor Tom Hiddleston, Loki is known as the god of mischief and is generally seen as a villain throughout the history of MCU. And as this one is written by Michael Waldron, it is also important to point out that the same writer happens to be on the screenwriting team for the Doctor Strange sequel. So there are sure to be some parallels harking back to the Loki series. Of course, we don't know for sure that there will be anything relating to Loki and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but it's better to give it a watch just in case. And what's the worst that can happen? You get to watch a pretty cool show. Oh no, have you seen Loki? Let us know below. Next up, it's Spider-Man: No Way Home. Our man Strange has a pretty huge role in this one, as he is at the center of the movie's conflict. In the movie itself, Peter Parker's identity has been revealed, and our webbed crime fighter enlists the help of Doctor Strange to change reality in order to stop his secret being revealed. Of course, things go badly wrong, and our heroes have to pick up the pieces. As we can probably expect, the upcoming movie will deal with some of the fallout from the events of WandaVision, but it is also probably safe to say that Strange will be dealing with some of the fallout after changing reality in No Way Home. It seemed as though at the end of this one that Spidey's story is all wrapped up nicely, but that's probably not the case for Strange, so this one is imperative viewing. And finally, Olsen and Cumberbatch have kicked off the press tour ahead of the film's release. The show's stars have been gearing up for its release this week and have started on the marketing tour for the upcoming movie. Due to drop in theaters on May 6th, the movie brings fans from all across the MCU together, and we'll see Olsen's Scarlet Witch as the potential villain, if her Darkhold spellbook at the end of WandaVision has anything to do with it. And first up, the actors stopped off in Berlin, as well as director Sam Raimi. Cumberbatch was sporting a slick gray suit, as well as a smart brown scarf, while Olsen dazzled in a shimmering blue pantsuit. The two are then seen playing an Avengers-themed game, which is probably the most fun they're going to have in upcoming weeks as they are set to go to war on screen. As always, thanks for dropping in today, and remember to join us next time for some more fun and games. Also, if you feel like doing us a solid, why not like and share today's video, as well as subscribing to our channel to make sure you don't miss out on more great content. Bye guys!